So let's have a talk about the differences between all of these various vacuums, because they're all going to be coming at different price points, they're all going to be coming with different features, and even though they do look different, a lot of them are going to share very similar features at that. So let's take a look and let's see what the differences really are. If you look closely at the Shark PowerDetect and the Shark Stratos brush roll, you'll notice that they look very similar to each other. However, the brush roll shape, in terms of how the silicone brushes are going to be shaped towards the actual funnel, is going to be different. Both units are going to be coming with the dual clean, except on the PowerDetect, they call it the dual clean detect because it has the detection system, and on the right side it has it as a dual clean Powerfin Hair Pro. You also notice on the PowerDetect there is going to be LED lights, while on your dual clean Powerfin there are LED lights, but it's not going to be as pronounced or as powerful. This is going to be our Dyson V15. Right now we have it with the anti-tangle comb, but it also comes with the detect brush. The Dyson V15 is able to detect the size of the particles that is ultimately going to be picking up, allowing it to adjust its power just like you have on the dual clean detect. As we take a closer look at our Dyson V15, it's important to remember it comes with 240 air watts. If you use it on max, it's going to be operating on battery, and its maximum runtime is 60 minutes. It does come with the advanced display, and it also comes with updated features here, like you have the crevice tool that's going to be built inside the wand. Now, important is also to know that the price matters, because the Dyson V15 Detect at MSRP costs you around $749. And if you get it on sale, hypothetically, maybe you could get it for $550, $500, let's say. But that is dramatically more expensive than what you pay for any of the other units inside of our test. At MSRP, about $149. Also against the Shark Navigator Professional, which also will have an MSRP closer to $169. And we can get even to the more expensive ones that we're reviewing here, like the Bissell Liftoff with MSRP closer to $240. A vacuum like the Bissell CleanView Rewind Pet is going to cost you close to $150, while a Shark Navigator Professional might cost you $170. And that's if you're paying full price for either of the vacuums. So then why are we opting to include a Dyson in our comparison? Because this is the pinnacle product. This is the product that a lot of us are wondering, should I go cordless or not? And I think our testing as well as the information here can help answer that question for you. This is going to be the Bissell Liftoff, and we picked a liftoff system because it has the liftoff, which is the closest to the Power LiftAway from Bissell. It's the reason why we're not showing you the Turbo Clean or other Bissell systems like the CleanView that we have at the end here, and that's expressly because I think that the Bissell 2-in-1 MultiClean Liftoff is the closest to the LiftAway Navigators, as well as the Stratos and the PowerDetect that you can get from Bissell. Now, it's also coming with that tangle-free brush. It's not going to be coming with any of that dual clean brush rolls because it comes with a single brush. It's going to have the HEPA sealed system for better air filtration. You have a easy to remove pop-off canister that has a very similar design to your Shark PowerDetect as well as your Stratos. It also comes with the wand release in the front, and you're going to have the ability to adjust the height level of your vacuum on the top where it says plush carpet or low carpet. That is going to be other features that you also get on your Shark PowerDetect and your Shark Stratos, but is missing from your Navigator as well as the CleanView. The Bissell bin is relatively easy to clean, and the switches are on the side. You can remove the hose, and they give you this powered brush tool they call the Pet Turbo Eraser, which is going to be slightly different from the brush roll you get with the Shark PowerDetect. So this is going to be the Shark PowerDetect. You can see the difference in terms of the color scheme that Shark is doing. So it's not so much that they've changed the material, but they've actually changed the color of the material to make it look more flawless and cleaner. You also notice that they did a better job in terms of the overall art direction and the way the vacuum actually looks. They've added this kind of like rose gold finish here. This is in relative to the regular standard metal finish. And on the Dysons, you get this gold finish, but remember, it's plastic. So if you drop it, you do get dents, just like I did. And Shark has also been upgrading their head units so that you get that detection system. So it's going to let you know if the detector is indicating that it's cleaning. It'll change colors. So you have the white, it's going to turn white if it's cleaning, and it's going to turn red purple if it has the cleaning boost. This is the area where you're going to be inserting your odor neutralizer right there. And it's the same area that you had on your Shark Stratos. In terms of the size of the dust cup looks bigger, but that's because when you remove it, it's going to be a little bit smaller in the center at the bottom. So the Shark Stratos is coming basically like a refrigerator or one large bin, while on your Shark PowerDetect, it is coming in an L shape. So when you remove it, it's going to make an L shaped. So this is going to be on the Shark Stratos. You can see that it has that large dust cup. It has the filter, the odor neutralizer technology. You notice that on the power fin here, it's going to be a little bit shaped differently than what you get on the Detect. But the actual Dual Clean Detect brush roll is just a different color. This one is in red and black versus the green and black you get on the Dual Clean Detect, which it looks awfully similar to the colors that you got on the Bissell Liftoff right here. Moving on from the Shark Stratos, this is going to be the Shark Navigator LIFTAWAY Professional. And this unit is coming with a larger dust cup than the regular LIFTAWAY. It also comes with a sealed HEPA system. It has a tube that connects via the brush roll to the side. Finally, this is going to be the Bissell CleanView Swivel Rewind Pet. Basically, the only difference between this and the other Bissells is that it's coming with the rewind. It comes with the triple action brush. It's going to be coming with the height adjustment features, and it's going to be coming with the swivel, but it will not come with the reach tool, something that you do get inside of the Stratos, the Navigator, the PowerDetect, this Bissell Liftoff, and you can just separate it on the Dyson to get that reach tool. This one will not come with the reach tool, but there are versions of it that you just pay about $10 more. You'll notice on the dust cup design, they are relatively similar across the board. The Bissell CleanView will have the smallest motor out of the group at 8 amps, and it's going to be coming with the Turbo Eraser Pet Brush that you see here. So what Dyson does is that Dyson uses their laser detect, and that laser detect is going to be able to not only shoot out a laser so you're better able to see what's exactly on the floor, but it's going to be able to detect the particles that it's picking up. This is going to be the Dyson hand tool. It's a little bit different than the others because it's a little bit corkscrew shaped. And if you see the bottom, it's going to also be able to be adjusted. So you can change the angle and open it if you want it to stand up or if you want it to close. Now the Pet Turbo Eraser from Bissell, this is going to be having the nylon, and it has the largest of the rollers, so hair cannot get captured as easily, but it's not going to be the most modern out of the group because you even have the other Bissell being a little bit more modern. The Shark PowerFin Hair Pro, this is going to be the most modern of the Shark hand attachments, and that's because it's got the updated roller. And that means the hair, when it does get tangled, it's not going to stick because it's not just one flat roller. So you can have an easier time cutting it. And it uses the power fins so that hair is not going to get tangled as easily inside. This will be the Shark Pet Hair Power Brush. This is the traditional unit. Now this is also using the nylon. It is a more standard power brush, but it's tried and true classic. It does work very well. And here is the Turbo Eraser brush, which is the closest you're going to get to the power fin brush because it also uses the silicone. It doesn't have the same type of design. It's going to be just about as effective, but the cleaning surface area is going to be smaller because it's not as wide. Here's going to be your handles. This is going to be the handle on your Shark Stratos here. Shark Stratos will come with adjustable settings, so you can do it from hard floor, carpet, low pill, and thick carpet just by adjusting the height settings. If you're looking at the Shark, you'll notice that Shark has really made an effort to make their Shark logo shiny. So here is on the Navigator, okay shine, medium shiny, to glossy, super shiny mirror finish, and they put that finish around the controls so it looks more professional. They've even changed the power button so it's going to stand out more. And instead of having these physical switches that you put up and down, now they come with buttons. So you have your detect button, your hard floor button, your carpet low pill, and your thick carpet area rug. So not a big difference, it's just how you use it is the difference between these two systems, along with having the new detect button on the PowerDetect Shark. If you take a look at the side profile between the Shark PowerDetect against the Stratos, the Liftoff, the Navigator, and the CleanView, you'll notice that the CleanView and the Navigator are going to be the tallest because the actual Liftoff portion is going to be well above the actual brush roll. Then as you move on towards the more high-end units, when you look at the Stratos, you look at the PowerDetect, you look at the Liftoff, you'll notice that the gap between the brush roll and the Liftoff unit is actually going to be smaller. So the motor is closer to the point of extraction. You'll also notice that in terms of the handles are all going to be the same height though. So it turns out you just get a little bit more reach tool because of the angle of your Shark and your Bissell here than on the Navigator and the CleanView. This also gives us a good opportunity to see where all of our buttons are located. So on your Bissell, you have your wand release, your tank release, and your power buttons on the opposite side. On our Shark PowerDetect, you have your dust cup release, you have your powered lift away, you have your wand release, you have your hose release, you have a handle release, and then you have the buttons in order to power up and utilize your vacuum. It's the same thing on your Shark Stratos. Your Shark Stratos comes with the dust cup release, the power lift away button, the wand release, the hose release, the handle release, and you have the buttons as well. It's much simpler on your Shark Navigator. You have your wand release, you'll have the power button that you see right there. The CleanView is actually having all the buttons on the bottom. You have the ability to adjust the height in the front of your brush roll. You have the power button as well as the recline on the back. And you have the cord rewind on the side, but no other features in terms of adjustable buttons on the top or the middle of the body of your CleanView. Here are your power buttons, your wand release, as well as your tank release. Here is your hose release, and then where you have the connector port, you also have the detect area right here. Your power lift away buttons are basically the same, except on your PowerDetect it comes with a rounded button. Here it's going to be coming with a more square button. They both come with a dirt cup release. The dirt cup release is going to be lower on your Stratos than on your PowerDetect. Your wand release is going to be about the same. Your hose release is going to be at the same location. Your attachments are going to be located at the same place. Your wheels have been slightly redesigned. They have a more spiral design here, but overall the wheels are basically the same outside of the design. How you remove your brush roll is going to be the same. The Navigator, the Bissell, as well as the Bissell Liftoff here do not come with the LED lights. Then you have to go to the Surface Sense or more high-end Bissells to get the surface lights on the bottom. On your Shark PowerDetect, the Shark PowerDetect does make it really easy to take off your lift away. So you just have to press this and then you can just pick it up by the handle and you could take it with you. The handle is still going to be attached via the hose, so you have to release the hose using the handle release. And we'll just pop that off. And then you could just pop it off as well. So the good thing about the Shark PowerDetect is that once you press the button, it doesn't just re-lock into place. So if you just press it once, you could just then release it and it'll just come out very easily. Same thing with your lift away system, and that's what it looks like. If you're talking about your Shark Stratos, it is the same. So you have that power lift away. All you need to do is press the button. So press that button. We're going to release the handle here. Just pick that up. And now we can just pick up our lift away easily and take it with us on the go, as you see here. It's a little bit different on your Shark Navigator, because on your Shark Navigator, it's going to be coming with the button on the bottom here. So you have to press this button. That's going to unlock. You see that it is sticking out. Then you can just pick up your unit and then it will pop out as such. There's no real worry because the wand is not attached. And if you want to release it with the wand, you just have to release it with the wand here. And on this Bissell, this does not have the reach tool, but if you did have a reach tool, it would just be like the Liftoff, where you would just have a button here and then you can release the wand up top. These are going to be the brush rolls for each of these respective units. Let's take a look at the Bissell Liftoff. It's just coming with a standard brush roll here. As you can see, it's wide, so it's not going to be getting tangled easily, but it's still a relatively standard brush roll. Ooh. Then you have the brush roll for your Shark PowerDetect, and you also can see where the sensors are located. So you have the floor detect sensor here. You have a nozzle inlet access, so that's going to allow you to easily clean your unit if you need to, so that you have easier access to cleaning. And that's a new feature that was actually brought out in the Stratos. So this is going to be that dual clean detect brush roll. This is going to be soft brush roll, and that's better for picking up large particles, and it makes sure that you pretty much get to pick up everything on your floors. And this is going to be the updated Detect brush, and you can see that it has the V-shaped design with the power fins. The bristles are actually shorter. You guys can see that the bristles are shorter than what you get on the Bissell, and that means it doesn't have to reach as far. And because the brush itself is wider, it's less likely to get tangled. There's no grooves here. It also gives you a good opportunity to compare the PowerDetect to the Stratos, because if you see the Stratos, it also comes with the dual clean brush roll. It's going to be coming with almost identical roller here, except the roller has the power fin, but it's not making a V-shaped design. And the brush itself, this brush is softer. So one thing is this brush is a lot softer than what you get with your Detect. So the Detect here is much stiffer and thicker. On your Stratos, it is much softer. And because it's softer, you'll notice a slight performance difference in picking up particles with the stiffer brush, especially if you're picking up things that are ingrained deep inside of carpet fibers. And that was a big knock on the Stratos. We wished it would do better. It was really good for carpets, but we wished it did better, and that was actually because of the softer brush roll on the bottom. Now, if you compare that to the Shark LiftAway Navigator, well, the Navigator is coming with the standard brush. There's no of these special sensors. It's more of a no frills. And if you look at the size of that brush, it's going to be smaller. And remember, the Navigator is not going to be easy to take out the brush roll like you have on the Dual Clean Detect or the Stratos. So if I want to just clean out the brush roll, that's super straightforward. I just have to turn my unit, and there's a slot here. And that's going to allow you to just pop out the Dual Clean Detect brush roll. And you can see that there's the Hair Pro catches here, but there's no easy way to remove the larger brush roll relative to how easy it is to remove the small one. If you compare it and remove the side brush roll on your Stratos, it's the same thing. We're just gonna pop it out, unlock, just gonna pop it out, or take it out ourselves. Here they also have the Shark Fine Comb, so it's gonna be less hairy whenever you're vacuuming. And because these Shark Stratos came with the softer bristles, it won't have the same performance in terms of high pill carpet that you get with the Shark PowerDetect, and that's just related to how stiff the bristles are and how effective they are on your floor. So rollers matter. So now let's start our vacuuming test for each of our models. We're going to be testing them on hardwood as well as carpet. And remember, each one is going to be operating differently, and they're going to have various amounts of maneuverability as well as portability. So if you look at your Bissell and your Shark, they're going to be able to pretty much almost go flat on the floor, as well as the Swivel is going to be okay, but it's not going to be as swivelly as what you get on the Shark Stratos or the Shark PowerDetect. If you're trying to compare it to something like the Bissell Liftoff, well, you got to take a good look at how the Sharks are performing, because of the size of those dust canisters, it's going to be a little mid-heavy compared to your Bissell, which might feel more balanced, and that's just because of the overall weight balance on your unit. Regardless, when you use all of them, they are pretty comfortable to use. In terms of what we're going to be picking up, we're going to be doing this on rice as well as rolled oats, because both are going to be very difficult items, as well as items that can splatter or splash everywhere if your brush roll or suction power is not powerful enough. And we're going to be using a good amount so everyone can see what the final results are going to be. The Shark PowerDetect made quick work of the rice, but let's see how it does on the Rice Krispies. And for something that's very crummy, it picks it up very easily. This is going to be on oatmeal, something that's going to be sticking on your hard floors very well. But this is going to be that soft brush roll. It's just able to pick up everything, and it's also easy to dump everything else. Now, using the same exact tools, we're going to be using this on carpet with the PowerDetect versus the Shark Stratos. And you can see both are going to have incredible suction power. It's literally picking up the carpet fibers off of the rug. Now let's try it on our Dyson V15. This is going to be on the anti-tangle brush. This kind of messy job might be better for the soft brush roll, but the anti-tangle brush is suitable. You can just pop everything out and take it out, and this is going to be on the Shark Stratos. Let's listen to how it sounds. The Shark Stratos will definitely be on the noisier side, but it has a lot of power and is able to pick up all the crumbs, not only on our Rice Krispies, our rice, but also for our oatmeal. My only complaint about the Shark Stratos outside of the noise is that it's going to be more blocky, and that means carrying it around as well as maneuvering it is more difficult. For carpeted areas, I do think the PowerDetect beats out the Stratos, and that's just because that dual clean brush roll is going to be optimally tuned for rugs and carpets on the PowerDetect more so than you have on your Stratos. Here on the Shark Navigator Professional, because it doesn't have that soft brush roll, when you're picking up these crummy things off the floor like rice or Rice Krispies, it does shoot some of those particles away from the unit, and that means it's going to be a messier cleanup on your hard floors relative to the PowerDetect. Now let's check the Bissell Liftoff. The Bissell Liftoff will perform admirably on hard floors as well as carpet. However, it's not going to perform as well as the dual clean on hard floors for a lot of these crummy messes, but it didn't have a hard time picking them up either. There's no height adjustment on your Bissell here, but you can turn off the brush roll in terms of picking up some of the grainier things like you have on these rice. If you do that, it's just going to be easier to pick up the rice than if your brush rolls are spinning. Now let's see how all of them do side by side against each other on carpet and rug. And this is going to be in a medium pill carpet that I got from IKEA. It's brand new, and we're going to stack it up with Rice Krispies, as well as oatmeal, so we can pick up as much as possible. We're even going to use a little bit of lentil, because lentils are easy to see because we got some orange ones for you. Using the Shark Navigator with the lentils on the rug, you're going to see, because you do not have the adjustable height, for these larger particles, it's just going to push them around. It's not going to be able to pick them up completely unless you pick up your unit and place it directly on top of all of the debris. And this just demonstrates the biggest drawback of the Navigator is that because you don't have an adjustable height and it's very low profile in terms of how close the brush roll is to your carpets or your hardwood, it's going to be pushing things around sometimes instead of picking them all up. It doesn't mean that it does a bad job, it's just not picking it up correctly. If you want to pick it up, I just pop on my Navigator on top of it, but it does spread out everything to the side, so you have to make a little more work. This is going to be on the Liftoff. The Liftoff will be able to pick up everything, and that's just because it's a little bit taller in the front, so the guard there where the LED lights are not preventing the particles from entering inside of the actual brush roll. And then one solid pass, you can pick everything up, which is different from the Navigator. The Navigator is definitely as powerful or more powerful in my opinion, but sometimes it's about how it applies that power to the floor, and the Liftoff does a great job, especially considering it also does not have an adjustable height mode on board on your device. Your Bissell will also work well with pet hair, so we have some pet hair here. It's going to pick everything up easily, as well as the Shark Navigator has no problems with the pet hair. It's really just whatever it can fit inside of its brush roll and inside of its motor head is what's going to be picking up, because it does come with that 10 amp motor. Finally, let's show you the same test with the Dyson V15 and what you get when you use something cordless, and that's also going to be relatively powerful. So here we are using our digital motor head that's not going to be coming with the soft brush roll because we're doing this on carpet, so we can go deep inside the carpet fibers. So in terms of the cat hair, it doesn't have a hard time picking any of it up, and it does have a tremendous amount of suction when you have this on max suction mode. Even on auto mode, once it detects pet hair, it's going to go on max suction mode regardless. If you're wondering why am I not using the soft brush roll on this rug or carpet to pick up these larger particles because it's pushing it around instead of picking it up here, it is because if you use the soft brush roll, you're not going to be getting deep inside of the carpet fibers. So you're supposed to use the motorized brush head here in order to maximize your carpet and rug performance. It's going to be the same thing on the even larger Rice Krispies here. We're just pushing it around instead of picking it up. And that's not really a fault of the Dyson. It's just that you have less versatility in a cordless model, especially because you have to swish the heads instead of having it all built inside, just like an upright vacuum. Here on the lentils, you get the same results again, and that just confirms our results, which is for carpets, Actually, the upright vacuums are going to outperform the Dyson, but for hard floors, they will perform relatively similarly. Ultimately, what is our verdict? I think that the Shark PowerDetect is going to be the best upright of the group, and that's because it has the most features, and it's going to have a pleasant sound, easy to clean, as well as a large chamber to pick everything up with. It's going to be versatile for carpets as well as hard floors, but the Stratos, the Navigator, and the Bissells are all going to be great for that. The Dual Clean definitely outperforms its competition on carpet and rugs, and because it has those dual brush rolls, it can just pick up everything that you have on the floor. But if you're not needing a vacuum that's going to be overpowered, that also is going to be a little bit less expensive, and it doesn't need to pick up a lot of pet hair as well as large particles all the time, the Bissell Liftoff is going to be a great choice because you have a lot of the versatility you get with the Shark, but it's going to be a slightly more pleasant sound. The Shark Navigator, as well as the Bissell CleanView, are going to be the more affordable options here. They both are very versatile. I think you can't go wrong with both. Just remember, you're not going to get the same power settings and you're not going to get the same cleanliness you might get on the PowerDetect as well as the Liftoff on these less expensive or older units. So with that, I hope that was helpful for you to pick your next vacuum. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment box below. We will get back to you. And please hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help support our channel. And I'll catch you next time. This is Dave with the French Glow, showcasing to you all of our favorite upright vacuums. See you soon. Bye, bye, bye.